Here's a message for any of you that feel like you have experienced being cursed or being sort of a victim of a generational curse. People think of curses as hexes, as something that someone else wished upon them, or that maybe somebody wished something upon their family and then it runs through generations down the line. This is actually not true. Generational curses is not about being cursed by another person. It is much more so about a family dynamic. So when you are growing up in your family, you're exposed to the dynamic that your family exhibits, and you don't really know any different. This is just what you're growing up in, that is what you're growing up in, and what you know. You don't know anything else. And so you're taking on those patterns and behaviors of your family. And when you become an adult, you may notice that you're struggling with relationships, you're having difficulties, maybe even with employment, maybe you have financial difficulties, maybe you don't understand why you always attract certain people into your life that cause you problems, or you think they cause you problems, right? But it really is just a generational dynamic and not a curse. It comes from the dynamic of your family that you've grown up in, and that you have taken on these dynamics and behaviors. And so you're exhibiting certain traits that can cause problems down the road with things that you're dealing with in your adult life. So if you're trying to undo a curse, and if you go to somebody and pay $20,000-$30,000 to help them undo your curse, right? Which some people fall for these scams, I mean, it's ridiculous. But if you're desperate, you might gonna, take desperate measures. Let me tell you that the only way that you're going to be able to dissolve this or to neutralize this so-called curse is by examining your family dynamic and your own behavior. So sometimes you may need a therapist to help you with that, because it's really difficult sometimes to see those kinds of dynamics and behaviors in yourself. So if you have somebody else looking at you and your life and your family from the outside in and can give you perspective and an understanding of what's going on, that can really help you to learn to change behavior, attitudes, and feelings and thinking that can then lead to different outcomes in your life. This is actually the reason why, I never believed in these things, you know what I mean? But I know people do believe in these things. But the way that I have learned to help other people is by creating this assessment where I assess their behavior and their thinking and their family dynamic, so that I can tell them exactly where that they're shooting themselves in the foot, where they're hurting themselves, where they're self-sabotaging, where that and why that they're holding themselves back. If you're able to understand how your mind works and why that you are in the situation that you are in today, that can help you to begin to unravel all of these issues so that you can create a completely different life experience for yourself. So if somebody tells you that you have a family curse on you or some sort, remember what I said. It is not a family curse, it is a family dynamic.